The National Electrical Code, or NEC, does indeed cover semi-trailer wiring. Specifically, Article 670 addresses this topic. It is important to understand the requirements outlined in Article 670 to ensure safe and compliant electrical installations in semi-trailers. Article 670 provides guidelines for the wiring, overcurrent protection, grounding, and other electrical aspects of semi-trailers. Adhering to these guidelines helps to minimize the risk of electrical hazards such as shocks and fires. Some key areas covered by Article 670 include wiring methods, conductor sizing, overcurrent protection, grounding and bonding, and disconnecting means. Firstly, regarding wiring methods, the NEC specifies acceptable wiring methods for use in semi-trailers. These methods must be suitable for the environment and the type of electrical system being installed. Secondly, conductor sizing. The NEC provides guidance on selecting the appropriate conductor size for each circuit in the semi-trailer. The conductor size must be adequate to carry the intended load without overheating. Thirdly, overcurrent protection. Article 670 requires the use of overcurrent protection devices, such as fuses or circuit breakers, to protect the wiring from overloads and short circuits. These devices must be properly sized and installed. Fourthly, grounding and bonding. The NEC emphasizes the importance of proper grounding and bonding to minimize the risk of electric shock. All metal parts of the semi-trailer that are likely to become energized must be properly grounded. Fifthly, disconnecting means. Article 670 requires the installation of a disconnecting means to allow for the safe isolation of the electrical system for maintenance or repair. This disconnecting means must be readily accessible. In more detail, considering wiring methods, the specific wiring methods permitted by the NEC for semi-trailers might include types of cables or raceways that are suitable for the environmental conditions and mechanical stresses present in a trailer application. For example, flexible metal conduit, liquid-type flexible metal conduit, or certain types of cable specifically listed for mobile applications may be allowed. The NEC stipulates how these wiring methods are to be supported and secured to prevent damage from vibration and movement during transit. Considering conductor sizing, the NEC tables, such as those found in Article 310.15, are used to determine the ampacity of conductors based on their insulation type, ambient temperature, and the number of current-carrying conductors bundled together. Adjustments and corrections to the ampacity might be necessary based on these factors to ensure the conductors do not overheat under normal operating conditions. Voltage drop also needs to be considered to ensure that the voltage at the load end of the circuit is within acceptable limits. The NEC provides guidelines for calculating voltage drop and recommends limiting it to a certain percentage of the supply voltage. For overcurrent protection, the size of the fuses or circuit breakers must be coordinated with the ampacity of the conductors they are protecting. The NEC specifies that the overcurrent protection device should protect the conductor against overloads and short circuits without causing nuisance tripping under normal operating conditions. The interrupting rating of the overcurrent protection device must also be sufficient to safely interrupt the available fault current at its location. For grounding and bonding, the grounding system must be designed to provide a low impedance path for fault current to return to the source, which helps to trip the overcurrent protection device quickly and safely. The NEC requires that the metal frame of the semi-trailer be connected to the grounding electrode system. Bonding jumpers are used to connect different metal parts of the trailer together to ensure they are the same electrical potential. For disconnecting means, the disconnecting means must be readily accessible to qualified personnel and clearly labeled to indicate its purpose. It must be capable of interrupting the flow of current to all electrical equipment in the semi-trailer. The location of the disconnecting means should be chosen to minimize the risk of accidental operation. The NEC also addresses specific requirements for lighting, receptacles, and other electrical equipment installed in semi-trailers. The lighting fixtures must be suitable for the environment and installed in accordance with the NEC requirements for lighting in commercial vehicles. Receptacles must be of the grounding type and protected by ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, in certain locations, such as wet or damp areas. All electrical equipment must be listed and labeled for its intended use and installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. In addition to the specific requirements for semi-trailer wiring, the NEC also includes general requirements that apply to all electrical installations. These general requirements cover topics such as wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. It is important to be familiar with these general requirements as well as the specific requirements for semi-trailer wiring. To ensure compliance with the NEC, it is recommended to consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer. They can review the electrical plans for the semi-trailer and ensure that they meet all applicable requirements. They can also inspect the completed installation to verify that it has been installed in accordance with the NEC. Failure to comply with the NEC can result in fines, penalties, and other legal consequences. It can also create a safety hazard that could lead to electric shock, fire, or other injuries. Therefore, it is essential to take the NEC seriously and to ensure that all electrical installations in semi-trailers are performed in accordance with its requirements. It is beneficial to review the relevant sections of the NEC, including Article 670 and any other applicable articles, to gain a thorough understanding of the requirements for semi-trailer wiring. Consider attending training courses or workshops in the NEC to enhance your knowledge and skills in electrical installations. Utilize online resources such as the NEC website and other electrical industry websites to access information, updates, and interpretations of the NEC. Consult with experienced electricians or electrical engineers to gain insights and practical advice on semi-trailer wiring. Staying informed about changes and updates to the NEC is critical for ensuring ongoing compliance and safety. The NEC is revised and updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay current with the latest edition. Subscribing to electrical industry publications and newsletters can provide valuable information on NEC updates and changes. Participating in continuing education courses or workshops can help you stay abreast of the latest developments in electrical codes and standards. Regularly review your electrical plans and installations to ensure that they continue to meet the requirements of the current edition of the NEC. By taking these steps, you can ensure that your electrical installations in semi-trailers are safe, compliant, and up to date with the latest electrical codes and standards. Remember that the NEC is a comprehensive set of rules and regulations designed to protect people and property from electrical hazards. By following the NEC requirements, you can help to create a safer environment for yourself, your employees, and the public. Consider the environmental conditions in which the semi-trailer will be operating. The NEC requires that electrical equipment and wiring be suitable for the environment in which they are installed. For example, if the semi-trailer will be operating in a wet or damp environment, the electrical equipment and wiring must be protected from moisture. If the semi-trailer will be operating in a hazardous location, the electrical equipment and wiring must be explosion-proof or intrinsically safe. Choose electrical equipment and wiring that are listed and labeled for their intended use. The NEC requires that all electrical equipment and wiring be listed and labeled by a recognized testing laboratory. This listing and labeling indicates that the equipment or wiring has been tested and found to be safe for its intended use. Install electrical equipment and wiring in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. The NEC requires that all electrical equipment and wiring be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. These instructions provide important information about the proper installation, operation, and maintenance of the equipment or wiring. Use appropriate tools and equipment for electrical work. The NEC requires that only qualified personnel use appropriate tools and equipment for electrical work. This helps to prevent electrical shock and other injuries. Inspect electrical installations regularly. The NEC recommends that electrical installations be inspected regularly to identify any potential problems. These inspections should be performed by qualified personnel. Correct any electrical problems immediately. The NEC requires that any electrical problems be corrected immediately. This helps to prevent electrical shock, fire, and other hazards. The National Electrical Code is a critical component of ensuring electrical safety in semi-trailers. Proper implementation of the NEC guidelines, especially Article 670, ensures that the electrical systems within these vehicles are safe, reliable, and compliant with industry standards. This commitment to safety not only protects individuals from potential hazards but also safeguards property and promotes operational efficiency. By adhering to the NEC comprehensive requirements, semi-trailer owners and operators can minimize the risk of electrical failures, prevent accidents, and maintain a safe working environment. The NEC provides detailed instructions on wiring methods, conductor sizing, overcurrent protection, grounding and bonding, and disconnecting means. These guidelines are designed to address the specific challenges associated with electrical systems in semi-trailers, such as vibration, exposure to weather elements, and the potential for physical damage. For instance, the NEC mandates the use of wiring methods that can withstand the rigors of transportation, such as flexible metal conduit or liquid-type flexible metal conduit, which provide protection against abrasion and moisture. The code also specifies the correct conductor sizes to prevent overheating and voltage drop, ensuring that electrical equipment operates efficiently and safely. Overcurrent protection devices, like fuses and circuit breakers, are crucial for safeguarding the wiring and equipment from overloads and short circuits. The NEC provides detailed requirements for the selection and installation of these devices, ensuring they are appropriately sized and have sufficient interrupting capacity to handle potential fault currents. Grounding and bonding are essential for minimizing the risk of electric shock. The NEC requires that all non-current carrying metal parts of the semi-trailer be properly grounded and bonded to create a low impedance path for fault currents. This ensures that in the event of an electrical fault, the fault current will quickly trip the overcurrent protection device, disconnecting the circuit and preventing a dangerous shock. Disconnecting means, such as switches or circuit breakers, are necessary for safely isolating the electrical system for maintenance or repair. The NEC requires that these disconnecting means be readily accessible and clearly labeled, allowing qualified personnel to quickly and easily de-energize the system when necessary. In addition to these specific requirements, the NEC also includes general guidelines for electrical installations that apply to all types of electrical systems. These guidelines cover topics such as the proper installation of electrical equipment, the use of approved materials, and the importance of following manufacturer's instructions. To ensure compliance with the NEC, it is essential to consult with qualified electrical professionals who have expertise in semi-trailer wiring. These professionals can review the electrical plans, perform inspections, and provide guidance on best practices for installation and maintenance. They can also help to interpret the NEC requirements and ensure that the electrical system meets all applicable standards. Regular inspections and maintenance are crucial for maintaining the safety and reliability of the electrical system in a semi-trailer. These inspections should include checking for loose connections, damaged wiring, and any signs of wear or corrosion. Any issues that are identified should be addressed promptly to prevent them from escalating into more serious problems. By following the NEC guidelines and implementing a proactive maintenance program, semi-trailer owners and operators can ensure the electrical systems in their vehicles remain safe, efficient, and compliant with industry standards. This commitment to safety not only protects individuals and property, but also contributes to the overall reliability and productivity of the transportation industry. In conclusion, the National Electrical Code plays a vital role in regulating semi-trailer wiring, and adherence to its guidelines is essential for ensuring electrical safety and compliance. Article 670 provides specific requirements for semi-trailer wiring, covering aspects such as wiring methods, conductor sizing, overcurrent protection, grounding, and disconnecting means. By understanding and implementing these requirements, semi-trailer owners and operators can minimize the risk of electrical hazards and maintain a safe working environment. The NEC should be considered as a foundational component for all electrical work done on semi-trailers. Regular inspections by qualified personnel are another measure that ensures safety and adherence to regulations. Ignoring these regulations carries the risk of fines, operational disruptions, and most importantly, potential harm to individuals. Therefore, A comprehensive understanding of the NEC guidelines is not just a recommendation, but a necessary practice for anyone involved in the maintenance or operation of semi-trailers. Continuous training and education on electrical safety measures are also helpful. This will help to keep personnel updated with the latest codes, regulations, and best practices. By staying informed and prioritizing electrical safety, the industry can ensure a safer and more efficient environment for everyone involved. The commitment to compliance should be ongoing, with regular updates on electrical safety practices and technologies to ensure that the highest standards are always maintained.